Sell tickets online, never in the streets. Easiest way to make money. I go to the ticket shop.
Click the link at the top line of the description. Don't wait.
Yeah. Well, that's I got a couple joints up here loaded. I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
Today. And then I guess at the end we'll give our thoughts on the Diddy trial so far. But let me play this video real quick. Let me make sure it's formatted. This is Kevin Gates.
Man, I don't really care for like when they talk to Black Lives Matter, I say, man, I don't really care for us like that. I don't care to be around them. Because there's always some bullshit. Well, I'm going to go back to the black community. Hey, good luck. Good luck. Why you ain't done now? Because you don't want that kind of pressure that's going to get applied.
Right. Man.
Because we kill each other all day, talk about each other behind each other back. Any family get together and we gossiping in the kitchen. See me outside and went in the kitchen and decided to turn into a bitch ass. When you went in the kitchen, yeah, Gates, he really think. Come on, man, that's all we do. When you look at my comments, the people saying negative shit be. The Black Lives Matter movement, they got mad at me. They said, I told them, hey, listen, I wasn't made for everybody to like.
That's real.
I told them, you know what's worse? They was like, what, another one?
Ooh, damn.
We kill each other all day. The song, I fuck your bitch, I kill you, bust your head, and then we talk about each other behind each other back. And then soon as a white person kill one of us, y'all should have left him. Y'all should have let him live. Why? So we could kill him. That's all.
Damn. That's deep.
Be jumping up and down, hollering, talking about that Black Lives Matter. Who do they matter to? Ooh. Even the songs you listen to, you ready to hear about it. I like that type of shit too now. I like that they top popped in a song. I do. I'm being honest. Yeah. But I don't really too much like if I be wrong, antennas go up.
You be feeling away.
No, it's just because of where I've been at. Yeah, it's because I grew up in them environments.
For sure. No, that makes sense. I get it. Yeah. Well, I will say this.
Where you ever heard that podcast before?
Nah, I've seen Paul. I know that was Paul Pierce. I've seen him, and I'm not sure who the woman is. I apologize for that, but nah, I never heard that podcast.
Yeah, I was trying to give them their proper credit. It was posted by another source or whatever the case may be. So whoever the podcast is, if you see it, and it will definitely give you the proper credit. But I gotta let you talk about this one first. What was you thinking about that? And I'm surprised this wasn't a bigger story in the media. And did you see this video before?
I didn't. I might have scrolled by it, but I didn't listen to it.
Okay.
It's a touchy one, but you think about everything he said, and he's hitting on a lot of things that are very true, unfortunately. When he started talking, I was like, all right, who's he talking to? Because the context of who he was talking to in that type of discussion mattered, right? And when I seen that he was talking to Paul Pierce, and like I said, the other young lady, I was like, all right, cool. I'm ready to listen to this conversation, because if you'd have had this conversation on Bill Maher, I'd have had a problem with that shit. Like, real talk, because these type of issues, these deep-rooted issues that we deal with as a people, because that's all it was really getting down to. There are some deep-rooted issues that we can look at each other and have to raise our antennas. He wasn't lying. You know what I mean? If we go into a group setting and it's a group of Black individuals, for whatever reason, your antennas are up. For the most part, it could be you gauge the situation, because it could be a group and you could be a welcoming group and you feel like you in the company of your own home, and you could be amongst a bunch of strangers, but they all your same color, so you feel that connection to them. Or there could be certain environments you go into and your antennas are immediately raised because you know what it's about. And 9 times out of 10, those people are the people that look like you. And those environments that he grew up in, that's 9 times out of 10 the situations that I'm sure he was in, as well as Paul Pierce. If y'all don't know Paul Pierce history, that brother was from there too, got stabbed up, damn near did lost his life before he even got a chance to play professional basketball. That's why he was kind of quiet during that shit. I'm kind of curious as to what he thought about what he said. Also, it kind of gave me Charleston White vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was trying to be comical, even though I know that's how Kevin Gates is. I'm not trying to say he's trying to mimic anybody, but it gave me that I don't give a fuck, Uncle Ruckus, you niggas ain't shit type vibe as well. So he was touching on some things. I agree with a lot of what he said. Unfortunately, I think there's some deep-rooted issues as to why. I don't know if that could be fixed or how that could be fixed, but that don't mean I'm gonna still look at our people and I love them. I put it that way.
And I think that that's the issue behind it. I think it's it's kind of a dangerous conversation depending on who's speaking about it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's context to every single thing when you're talking. Of course, it's truths behind it. We can all attest to it and things like that. But he won't tell you why. He won't tell you why. Like, why is it like this?
Mm-hmm.
And if we would have stuck him, in an Irish or Jewish hood, in the 50s or the 40s, whenever, he would have been talking about the same thing. And they might have been talking about the same things, with their own people at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like it's it's almost not fair, because I'm getting the vibe too, like, all right, you made it out, F these niggas type vibe.
Yeah.
A little bit too. Like, I don't want to be around and this and that, but your family's probably amongst those people. And then it's the other part about, yes, we killing each other, but other people killing each other too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And are we in a worse position? Mostly, yeah, but it's a lot of good blacks too.
A lot.
That's a lot, and even when you go to some of these bad neighborhoods, it's a lot of good people. It'll be just a few people that mess up everything for everybody. For the majority, like, yo, I don't care what hood you're in. That was dangerous. I'm not saying, but you go talk to these people, be around these people. They good people.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to, acquiesce to the environment that they in. So a guy might carry a gun. A guy might have a feud with this guy, and shit pops off. You know what I mean? Those type of situations. So, it seems like all these guys get like that, though. Oh, I'm here, F these ends, and these ends is doing this, and I'll get around black. I might get around white people feel uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
Group, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ever be like in something like some restaurants or something like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
You know somewhere, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And it ain't because of a damn person that look like me. Oh, I wish I see 2-3 of us. Shit.
Right. But then on the other hand, you get around black, you like, yo, it can go down. We've been in those situations too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, I might get shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who I am. So, those type of, I just wish that, and it's only a clip, that more like we could like do this long. Like, what was after that? What was said? You know what I mean? I wish we can get to that. Maybe I'll try to find a podcast later.
Yeah.
Whatever. Because these little clips like this is kind of hard to really get the full context.
Of course, yeah. I wish that. So we all use the N-word, right? And we amongst ourselves and company, and we're trying to do a little more of a calculated and better job on not putting that on air, right? What do you feel about how he used that in that context of the conversation? Did it kind of give you the sense that that when he was using the word the way he was using it, that gave me the context that he was like, F you, Nick. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe if he said us brothers or us as a culture or us as a people, or he didn't use that particular word. When he said that word, I felt it as a hatred, kind of like if a white person from the South would say it. And I know that's the language, that's our language. But when in that context, I was just like, damn. You kind of categorizing us as a people as opposed to kind of putting it into isolated situations. We know about the situations, but they are isolated. I'm thinking about when I go to the gym or I go to the supermarket or I go out in the public, I say what's up to every black person I see, and they say what's up back. So it ain't like, I don't know. It ain't all bad. We know it's some situations, but damn. But what do you think about how he was using the word?
Yeah.
Did that kind of make you feel a certain way too?
Yeah. Even like, I think we got far too comfortable with using it.
Yeah.
Like, even when I was talking a few minutes ago, I threw it out there.
Yeah.
And in conversation, we'll be talking and we'll be throwing it out there.
For sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dropping it crazy. So it's not like it's uncommon, but it's just like, you know what I mean? The way like they say, it's not the way he was saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it rubbed me all the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like, you got the Charleston White shock jock vibes, where he's gonna say the wildest, most outlandish thing, and it's gonna have some truth to it, but it's gonna be totally, out of context, totally misrepresented, and people just gonna run with it, for what it isn't and for what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like Kevin, man, look, he says a lot of crazy stuff, and then another part he talked about was like, how come y'all, he ain't trying to help, the community, and and I get it. That's not for everybody to do.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't, they're gonna take their money and go live and do what they do. Fine. You know what I mean? That's what you want to do. But we can't sit here and act like we don't have pressing issues in our community either. We got some major issues in our community that got to be fixed. All you can do is work where you at and do what you can do. Everybody can't be Martin Luther King.
Right.
Everybody can't be a super revolutionary. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And those places, those places, unfortunately, are absolute shit. That's why people work so hard to get the fuck up out of them and want to live into a better neighborhood. So you shouldn't be shit on for living in a better neighborhood, but don't shit on the place that you came from, because there's still diamonds in that rough, just like you.
Yep.
That would fucking die for some upliftment, would die for an extra place to go and read, or be able to do something that they love that was provided by somebody that came from that community like yourself. And nobody's saying that you're not doing that, but when you get on these type of platforms and you just shit on it, it just, in context, even if you feel that way, some things don't need to be said. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. Hold on 1 second.
You good, bro?
All right, you hear me better now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that was a major point you hit on, because they looking for people to come out these, Kevin Gates came from my hood, NBA Youngboy, Boosie came from my hood. That's gonna give these kids hope.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, if you over here talking about all these ends, I mean, look at you like, man, F this dude.
Yeah, he better not come back.
Right. Yep. And we see how that happens for a lot of these rappers, because of that same type of attitude. And even the ones that help, though, unfortunately, they be ended up getting killed too.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a touchy situation. And then I think he touched on maybe like the violence and the self-hatred that we have for each other. That's on the money.
Yeah.
That's all hip-hop pretty much has become. So he's right on that. I can't argue with that.
No.
But there's it's a context to all of this shit, though.
Yeah.
And it's the why to all of it.
And I would never make an excuse for why the music is made the way it's made, because we make it, right? But at the same time, look at who is ahead of distributing that music, and there's never a pushback on that. But would it be a pushback if other cultures or other genres of music put out such hateful music against a particular culture of people, or whatever culture that was? Would it be the same, just open gate, let it flow through as hip hop is? I doubt it. So
yeah, and then why don't talk about distribution, like you said? Like, if we was dealing fentanyl, let's say if we was dealing fentanyl in our own community, and the government stepped in and made it global, worldwide, they distribute. I mean, all right, we doing something bad, and I get it, but the government, these labels, pitching them as the government, they stepped in and made this shit global. Now they're pushing this on a bigger scale.
Telling you get rich from it now,
right?
You can make money from hating.
Yeah,
and destroying. Do it.
So it's like, damn, like that's what we like, So again, do you really expect Kevin Gates to give us anything profound at the end of the day? Look who he chose to lay down with. Like, at the end of the day, this chick and whatever he found. Like, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna hear nothing profound from this dude.
Yeah.
So look, hey, it is what it is. They gave us some talking points.
They gave us a nice little 12-minute conversation, so I'll take it all day, any day of the week, dog.
Word. So let's jump into this next one.